Good morning from Australia. My name's Matt in a Hat, and we are back after a little bit of a hiatus last week with some migraines on my behalf, which was lots of fun. We are back with some more Pathfinder 2 Kingmaker, and we are now officially session 52, which means that we have been doing this officially for an entire year, but a little bit more because, it happens. But yes, 52 official sessions. It's gone crazy fast, in my opinion, and it's been really interesting and been a good experience for the most part. We're learning, we're growing, discovering things about Pathfinder, discovering things about Kingmaker, discovering things about Foundry, discovering things about each other. It's all a big discovery. What's that?
And how terrible DM rolls.
Yeah. It does seem
We
we might need to cast Remove Curse on DM Nix and his dice.
Nah, we just need to give him a roll inverter.
Please don't do that. We've seen what happens when it swings the other way. Oh gosh. But yeah, it's a pleasure to be gaming with you all. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to be here with us and participate and play your awesome characters and and just have time together. It's wonderful to be able to do that. Very much appreciated. And why don't we get stuck into what happened last time and where our characters are at? Let's have, instead of taking turns, let's throw it back and forward at each other. Maybe we sort of ask each other what's going on and what each other are thinking, and we have a discussion rather than maybe like just stating where we're at today. Maybe we can try something like that. How do we feel about that? All right, go ahead, guys. Where are we? What are we doing? What do you think about each other? What do you think about the situation? What's going on?
I feel bad for the Aldori sisters. I mean, I'm standing over here with them, like kneeling down, paying my respects for their fallen sisters, and I just feel terrible for them.
They did kind of get the shitty end of that stick. I will definitely say that. But Vrar has kind of.
They seemed like good people.
Vrar's like, yep, shitty end of that stick. It's too bad. We got them back to their family, though. It's the best we could hope. Hell, as far as I'm concerned, I'm probably going to end up unburied, strewn across a battlefield somewhere. That's. I've kind of decided
maybe eaten by something plant-like.
Yeah, sounds like that's been an issue.
Indigested. Or maybe they won't like the taste of you and they'll spit you out. Let's see.
Well, the other
I will mention to the people that we brought their swords back.
Yeah, just in case we didn't remember too, as part of that, what you were saying just then is that we do have evidence that these emerging creatures were not attacking things out of hunger or need to survive. They were attacking things out of an insane, brutal rage, unusual craze.
Driven to it by a fury not their own.
Not hunger. This isn't hunger that we're talking about.
Mm-hmm. I don't have any problems with creatures deciding they're going to kill something because they're hungry. Neutral hungry has never been something Vrar would be bothered by. Is he going to fight back? Yes. That just happens. I mean, does the pig get angry that I turned it into a ham sandwich? Maybe. Not going to stop me from making it into a ham sandwich.
What about the situation here in Varnhold? As the town isn't quite as happy, perhaps, as it was the last time that we were here, because some of their citizens are missing. What do we think about this? Do we have any theories as to what might be going on around that?
Well,
Yeah, they turned into monsters. They
plant.
exploded and turned into monsters.
Yeah.
Or were murdered by said monsters.
Yeah, that's pretty the standard for what's been going on here lately. I mean, it's been going on everywhere we've showed up so far. That's a good question. How far out you think this is spread?
I think it just matters. So Varnhold is where it's located. Like it's on a like creek river ish thing that's feeding in roughly the same it's on the same rough body of water. Like it's connected in that manner. So it's entirely possible that whatever was infecting that hunter's area has fed its way up here.
Well, no, I mean, but
Well, when did
how
the-
widespread is it? Is it all the way up to wherever it was north? You talked about that
Restov?
story you told about the frost giants or whatever kind of giants there were, and some crazy swordsman lady that I haven't met yet. You think it's going to happen all the way up there? Isn't
Depends.
that where we're going with the library?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's in Restov.
I guess we'll
what's
find
wrong
out
with
then.
it. But yeah, I mean, it's so my mic's working, but my video's not. Oh, there it goes. Finally, it works now. Anyway, yeah, I think that it'll be fine. Like as long as we get there within a respectable amount of time.
Well, are we going to stop and look for these people from Varnhold?
I think that was what we decided at the end of last session.
Yeah,
But
we're
we
gonna
could.
we're
I
gonna
could
make
look for him as well.
yeah, we're gonna make a probably.
Good, because as much as I want to solve the overall problem, I'm way more about what's right here in front of me. If there's somebody there that needs help or is missing, let's go find them.
Yeah. Sounds good. So you have the resources that you are aware of. You have these people in town. If you want to ask them any more questions, so far we have asked a couple of questions like, who are these people that are missing? How long have they been missing? So the answers to that are: yesterday morning, a group of 6 people of various ages and sexes left on a routine gathering herbs and ingredients, hunting, gathering group. It's a group of 6, quite safe in 6. They've always done it in bigger amounts because it makes sense. You're going to be gathering a whole bunch of things. They took a wagon with them, all of that stuff, or a cart at least, and they went to hunt and gather, as has been done for generations. They left to the south, which is going into hilly terrain, in order to gather at places that haven't been tapped recently. Again, in the pattern that they have established here in Varnhold. Varnhold is flourishing. And other parties left at the same time in different directions, and they've returned. But this one group that left yesterday morning at the same time as these others hadn't returned by night, and it's the middle of the day or whatever today, and they still aren't home. It's like, well, they were out an entire it's been too long. Like maybe everything's fine, but this is not the process. This is not what was decided. So they're
They should
a
have
little
been
bit
back last
concerned.
night.
Right, they should have
Yeah.
been back last night. All of their families have had a night without them, worried sick about what might have happened. There's been rumors of attacks, yeah, and people are sad. People are like, I don't know what's going on. And the not knowing, that's half of the battle. It's like, whoa, you know, it
Do
could
they
be
have
anything.
a map of the route they would have taken? We could try and trace it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean-
they can give you like almost exact, like it's not going to be
Or
exact.
do they have a
exact.
guide that could show us? We
Yeah,
could
they
go?
say, look, just follow the river. Basically, the party, like this particular party, went along the river. If you
If
just
they-
follow the river, you'll find them.
They took a wagon or a cart.
Yep.
We should
cart.
be able to follow the tracks from that, regardless if we can figure
Yeah,
out which one
absolutely.
it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it hasn't been a
Sometimes
massive
as well,
rain or
but
anything. Like you guys, it's been relatively sunny.
Ask for descriptions of them as well as their names.
Yeah, what they look like. Yeah, all of that.
You don't
Yeah.
have to make it up. We'll just get that information.
Yeah. So there are various. Most of them are sort of. So two of them are sort of youth, but not like they're in their late teens. They're what do you call them? Apprentices. Okay, so they're sort of in their late teens. There's a guy and a girl. And then the rest of them were adults, two men and two women. So in total, 3 guys, 3 girls. They all left to go searching. So some of them are gatherers, some of them are hunters. You can ask the other the other hunting parties that left in different directions and have returned, if you want, to see if they met anything untoward, and they would say that, nothing out of the ordinary, they went hunting, they got things, they came back. They are just as concerned as everyone else, and don't have anything to really say, well, it could have been this. They didn't experience anything that was out of the ordinary. Okay? So that's the sort of thing that you get from them. Obviously, their names and their general descriptions, which I don't have, but your character has them. Characters have them. And you can head out of the village to the south. So what I'm going to do is there any other preparations quickly before we leave? I just don't want to...
I mean, I came over from where I was to the group to say that, let's get going and head out.
I did want to ask about a resistance rune for armor.
A resistance rune?
Yeah, +1 resistance rune.
Is that energy resistant?
I think it's just called resistance. Let me look it up in the Nephis.
I've got a energy resistant here, but I don't know about a resistant. Do you mean a fortification rune?
Is that what it's called?
I think so. Fortification rune. Oh, it's a little bit high, that one. No, it would be... There's a different one. So resilient? Resilient?
Armor property rune, maybe? Yeah, resilient, that might be it.
Yeah, there's a resilient rune. It's item 8. If you asked about one when you first got here, which I assume you would have, they would say they don't have one right now. However, they can fashion one for you with a full day's work.
Okay, well, we're going to go look for the missing people, and then when we get back, hopefully they can have one to fix to my armor.
Yeah. They say that the other hunting parties that came back have brought back the necessary materials to make that. Normally, they wouldn't have found that, but they got a bit of a bonus. And because of all the stuff that you guys have been doing and whatever, they're more than happy to make that for you as long as you pay for it. So, yeah. It is
What is the cost on a fortification rune like that anyway?
a resilient rune. So, I'll tell you what it does, and then I'll tell you the cost, okay?
Please.
It gives +1 item bonus to all saving throws. So, that's reflex, fortitude, and will. Okay? You get +1 to all of those checks, and the price is 340 gold pieces.
Pricey.
It is.
Well worth it, though.
I think so.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, so they are happy to fashion one while you are out looking for their people.
All right. Anybody mind if I dip into the stash for part of the money?
Sure, go for it.
Yeah, I don't mind.
How much do we have in the stash at the moment?
1,073.
Yeah, so you're fine. So everyone else, you have a think about, like, I'm gonna give you a round number, somewhere between 300 and 400 gold that you might like to buy at some point. What sort of items you might be interested in, because we want to spread the wealth around. Sometimes it's good to wait, sometimes it's good to buy something, but if there's something on your mind, if you think of something that you would be like, oh, I could use something that does this, or I could use a bonus in this area, or I could shore up this weakness, or I don't know, anything. If something comes up, and
Can I
you
get
would,
an item that lets me roll 2d20s and take the better? You said to shore up weaknesses.
I want one too.
A lucky rune. A lucky rune.
Maybe, maybe, but not in all cases, unfortunately. Is there a lucky rune? No. There's probably items that allow you to reroll for certain things. I don't know them offhand.
Sorry.
What?
I was gonna say there is that ring of bestial friendship in there that's worth 600 gold. Nobody's gonna use that. Would probably or a decent chunk of money.
Yeah,
Pretty well.
I mean, I don't think anybody's going to use it unless anybody thinks they're going to use it. I'm not going to use it.
I mean, it could stop you from being trampled by elk or deer.
No one did anything with that, right? We just identified it.
Yeah.
Oh wait, it says cursed.
I think that's part of the reason why it's sitting in there. I remember Tarnal identified it and then went, yeah, I don't want to touch that again. Maybe you end up the kind of friend to the animal you don't want to be.
So I remember that ring was found on that was the one that was found on the hunter in the shack on the hunting grounds, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think it's not that old. We've only had it for a few sessions, I think.
I thought that ring had been sitting in party treasure for a while.
It's been in there for a bit. Yep.
Okay.
But I don't remember exactly where it popped up. And Vror would be like, there's a ring? What does it do? No, I don't want that. How long have we had that? Why isn't that drinks and food?
Yeah. What you know about it is that you can cast Charm, heightened to 4th level on an animal or beast. Makes a mental bond. Allows you to be aware of its state. these sorts of things. If they, if something bad happens, they become enraged. But otherwise, it's really there to keep track of things. It's a like a tracking kind of dealio. Cool. But yeah, that is there if we want to sell it.
I'm fine with selling it.
Yeah.
Do we want to do that here? Do we want to do that once we're up where the library is?
You'd probably get a better price at a proper settlement. 600 gold would be a lot of money for these people.
Yeah, let's wait for Restov.
Sure.
That way we can So Keldor, you can have the money from the stash, and we'll replenish that money when we sell it in Restov. It's fine.
Appreciate that.
Cool. All right. Well, you guys are going to head off out of town, having ordered that rune, that resilient rune. And you are going along the river, okay? Down this way, along the river. And following the river as, like, towards its source, really, is what you're doing. You know that it will be minimum of 3 or so hours to get to a point where they would have started to look for materials, maybe even a little bit longer. So normally they leave like pretty much at dawn, the process, just to give you a general idea. What all of the others did as well. They leave at dawn, 6 a.m. They travel for a few hours, maybe till 9 or 10. They start gathering, moving around for about 4 hours, and then making it about 2 o'clock with a break in between, 2:30. They start heading back 3 or 4 hours, get home at around dinner time. That's the basic process. So you know that they wouldn't have stopped until about 3 or 4 hours into their journey, and you travel for that time. I'm going to reuse an asset here, just so that we're aware of what's going on.
Use what you need to.
Please.
Rotate it 90 degrees.
I wish it was that easy. Where are we? Not that one. Where is it? That one? No. What have I done? That one. Yes. We're going to activate this. Okay, we're going to reuse this. So, it will take you... Actually, let's make some... We'll travel for 3 or 4 hours. You haven't seen this just yet. Let's make survival and perception checks when you get to that point where they would have started to look for actual materials. And let's see what we can discover about their movements. Wow.
Well then.
I'll take that.
Yeah, yeah. Always take that. Wow. He's rolling well, everyone.
Wow.
All right.
To the yes.
We're all on high alert.
Except for Thekard, who's going to roll a 2. Calling it now.
It's just giving me the slow, like, dial-up load style. Just bloop, 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 bloop,
Yeah,
bloop, bloop,
I
bloop,
saw
bloop.
that too.
So that's why I hadn't.
That's fine. Okay, so. Yeah, you easily will. That's pretty good too.
I am surprised.
I am too.
There's
You
4
all-
I need you. So I need you to do that when we're fighting.
Shut up. I know. not me. I'm trying, okay?
You've had your good roll now. That's it. That's it for the session.
God damn. Wasted.
No.
Wasted.
So.
Oh no, he gets at least 2. He'll roll like an
Oh.
18 on the initiative, and then
Everybody
have to
pop.
delay.
Everybody pop your hero point. Like, get you a hero point back.
Yeah. Yeah. So you all have a good, decent search. The tracks go off into pairs. In like some of them are hunters, some of them are gatherers. You go past these areas that have been plucked of flora and fauna as you move around, and you see evidence of footprints suggesting that people have been here, evidence of the recent harvesting that they have done, and as one of you at least has rolled a critical success, you also determined that all of that harvesting was done yesterday. There's nothing more recent than yesterday in all of these places. And you look about, and for a while, you just like you're finding more and more stuff. It's getting more clear to you that you're getting closer to where they've gotten, like where they've re-met each other in order to rejoin and stuff. And as you get closer to that location, you're getting closer to running water. In fact, you can actually start to hear a waterfall as you sort of move in this general direction. So the river is, there's multiple waterfalls down this river, and it's very obvious when as you're getting close to that waterfall, because the soundscape changes. Along just the water, the standard river, it's just a bubbling, nice kind of river. And then as you get closer, you hear that ambiance of the splashing and of the roar of the waterfall. It's clear that waterfall is quite significant due to what you're hearing and how far away you are still from it. You can't see it just yet. There is a lot of curves in the land. There's a lot of trees going on. Again, as you're moving in this general direction, you are still noticing, plants that have been harvested. You see evidence of creatures being caught and picked up, and you even now, as you're getting closer to where they stopped, you're seeing traps laid out. Some of them have animals actually in those traps still. Some of them have been gathered previously. They've been gathered last night, probably, in your estimation. And some of the traps were set up after that overnight. And some of those traps have been filled, but they haven't been checked this morning. Okay? It is currently... Let me go over here. It'll be the Sunday now. And I'm going to change the hour because we left about midday and we've been traveling about 4 hours. I think it was about midday, right? That was about the right thing that we got there. Oh, did we arrive at morning? I can't remember.
Yeah, well, we arrived in town in 3 or 2 or 3 in the morning.
A little bit soft for me, Malkov. Is that is anyone else happy?
Sorry, is it better if I sit forward?
Yeah.
We arrived at 2 or 3 in the morning, and then fought the
All right, and then you slept. Okay.
Yeah.
Slept, and then
So it'll be about midday now. Then you left sort of about 8 or 9 o'clock after meeting with the townsfolk and gathering information and ordering your rune, all of those sorts of things, and you've travelled for about 3 or 4 hours, and it's now about midday, approximately. You see these traps. They haven't been checked today. Some of them were checked last night and harvested. And as you're getting close to the waterfall, and you can very clearly now hear that. In fact, the sound of the waterfall is just about drowning out everything else. It's quite loud, quite pronounced. The one thing, and so that you hear that, you see evidence of these people, you see evidence of their camp, their tents are still erected. There's evidence that there was some cooking done this morning for breakfast. But there's no people here right now. And the sound of the waterfall is very strong in your ears. That's the situation. Over to you guys.
So there's a campsite, but no people.
Yes.
I'm gonna get my weapon out.
Is the cart or wagon that they were using, is that here? Or did we pass that at any point?
You have not passed it, and it is not parked here just at the moment now. It looks like it has been dragged in the direction of the waterfall, because it's going where the sound is coming from. You can see fresh tracks, probably about 2 hours old, maybe? Again, you've rolled a critical success in there, so yeah, a couple of hours old is that cart track that's leading towards where that sound of the waterfall is coming.
I'd like to do an expeditious search.
Okay.
Where is that? Actions. Exploration. Nope. Downtime. Nope.
Finding details and secrets twice as quickly when searching. You take half as long as usual to search a given area. This means while exploring, you double the speed you can move while ensuring you've searched an area before walking up to it. So let's look at search. Search says, with a successful perception check while searching, a character notices the absence or presence of something unusual in the area, but this doesn't provide a comprehensive catalogue of everything. Instead, it gives a jumping off point or closer inspection of an encounter, such as secret doors, traps, blah, 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 blah. Normally, a search would be 10 minutes. So you can do it in 5.
Okay.
Make me that perception check.
Yes, sir.
Nice. Yeah. You go through all of this looking for what might have happened. So I'll go over the things that you notice. You notice that people were definitely cooking this morning. The fire that was used is not hot to touch, but there are still coals that are in there that are warm, right? Again, suggesting that it's being used within the last couple of hours, okay? The food has been all consumed, and there's none remaining. The food containers have been washed and put back into the packs that are here. There are still bedrolls out, and there are like travel packs still here, but all of the gathering baskets and containers have been taken with them wherever they've gone, suggesting that there's
no
still
signs of struggle.
No signs of struggle, suggesting they're still looking for stuff, even though it's the next day, even though it's not normally the process. Wasn't what was agreed upon.
Okay, thank you. I relay all this information to the party.
Also, given that that's a pretty good perception check, you do notice something a little bit odd about the type of meal that you think that they were making. There might be some evidence of peels or something nearby that suggests what they were eating. Okay? And you would consider that the meal that they were eating is more like perhaps an afternoon, like maybe a lunch or maybe an evening meal rather than a breakfast. And it feels a little bit odd that they would make that particular meal for breakfast when they clearly have ingredients for a breakfast meal. And it just feels a little bit off, perhaps, that's the case.
So I relay I think there's something not like alarming, but like just off. Like they made a meal right before they were going to bed or something like that, not right after they were waking up. And it seemed like, given what I see, it looks like they're getting ready to go to bed, even though it's early in the day.
Maybe they missed the day somehow. Some kind of time stolen from them. I don't know. Let's go find them and find out.
Yeah.
Maybe we can ask them.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, definitely no signs of struggle.
That's good. All right, so I'm not gonna go any farther than where I am right now. I'm gonna give somebody else a chance to do something.
I'm gonna follow the tracks from the cart and the wagon. You said fresh tracks from that?
Fresh tracks, about 2 hours old. Yep.
Where do they lead? They lead towards the water?
Yep, towards the waterfall. Yep. And so, within about 20 minutes, you make it to the waterfall. It's not very far at all. And you, as you're getting closer, can hear, even over the sound of the waterfall, which is quite loud, you can hear giggling and shouts of glee from the waterfall. And as you crest the hill or come around a corner or a tree and see, you see 4 of the 6 people in states of undress, in caresses with each other, in the waterfall.
If you are uncomfortable with scenes of this type, please cover your eyes.
I mean, it's not the first time that we've come across a situation like this either.
Yeah.
And I do try to allude to the issue rather than like describing it in full detail for us. Just know that that's what's happening. There are people in those throes.
Do we see what's happening with the 2 up here that I pinged?
Yes. So they are more covered than the others, but there's a similar thing happening over there.
Okay.
Pairings going on. They are male and female pairings.
Okay.
And they are age appropriate.
Okay.
However, you don't think, based on what you heard from the town, that these are couples. You don't think that these are normal couples. In fact, you spoke to that woman's husband back in town. You spoke to that guy's wife back in town. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a curse going on here, or fey magic. Yeah. Oh damn. There's something I can do. What is it? I can. Oh, there it is. Pact of Fate Glamour. Hang on. Is that a thing?
Is what
Oh
thing?
wait. I don't know. Is the Pact of Fate Glamour helpful here or no?
Let me. It's been a while. It's been a while.
Well, I know it's fine. It says you've sworn a pact with Fey powers, granting you with the otherworldly appearance of your dreams in exchange for oaths of hospitality. I don't think it's.
I don't think so. But it's
Okay,
certainly
no worries.
worth making a nature checks.
Yeah,
Based
I
on
think I'll
like
do
if
that.
you're thinking Fae, you've come across Fae tricksters
Yeah.
before. It's you know, so if you're thinking Fae, I'm more than happy for you to roll nature to see
Yeah,
to
no
confirm
worries.
or.
Oh, that was close.
Ooh,
Oh, fuck. All right, I'm gonna hero point that. Screw that. I'm not doing with us today.
Sure, fine.
You can roll like me.
Thanks,
It's fine,
Foundry. We
whatever.
appreciate you. You. We love you, Foundry. Sometimes.
Thank you. Not good. Whatever.
Well.
mean,
Just point out how much we love Foundry, okay? Got a 5. Still didn't get over a 10.
Still didn't go over 10 on a real die.
I got a 16. And then a 19.
I mean, it's not god awful, but it's not great.
Okay, so we have an 18 and a. So you have a
that's my reroll.
17.
17. Yeah, 17.
And a 16. One on First World and one on Nature. Alright, like. I don't think that these are low enough to give you misinformation. Okay? However, it doesn't really give you anything either. Your gut says this is probably Fae. It still says it's probably Fae. But you don't have anything else to go on. These people are obviously enjoying themselves and each other. And they're not partnered with these people normally. This doesn't seem.
I'm gonna walk up to the edge of the water.
Yep.
Whatever. I'm just. Yeah, that's about as close as I'm gonna get. And I'm gonna call out.
So, without going into too much detail, some of them, most of them will, like, as you call out, they'll turn, they'll smile, they'll open their arms, they'll make lewd suggestions about wood and firmness, and yeah, which seems out of character. Just randomly on the shore of a waterfall.
Records going to screech at them with like a whistle.
Okay.
Like a whistle shrill.
Yeah.
And be like, get yourselves pulled together. Your children are waiting for you.
All right. Do you want to make any check in relation to that?
Sure. What would fit most?
Intimidation.
I would almost say deception.
No, I know one of them at least is married with
Um,
kids.
Right.
So while he does that, like you said the thing about wood or whatever, I'm gonna roll up my sleeve and like pull off a piece of bark.
Yeah. Okay.
Brar is going to watch Lucas do that fascinated and ask if that hurts.
Not as much as you think it does.
It's like a bit of dry skin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can do deception, diplomacy.
You know, you can choose. I don't like you know.
Society.
I trust your judgment. Any social check here, I think fits. So it's what you think fits best. I don't mind which one. Pick the best one if you want. Whatever. I'm easy.
Yeah, you are.
Nice.
Hey,
I mean, it's just
actually let me
one
roll.
like 24-hour flight over here, Azrael, for you to find out. 34 society. That's amazing.
That's a really good check.
More like an 8.
Still, anything over 10 hours on a plane is too damn much.
Right.
34 is
Duties and
amazing, Thackeray.
responsibility.
Yeah. So as you do this, that check. So the check is about seeing if you can leverage the situation, change their the way that they are, and this check does call into attention the fact that perhaps they're not perhaps in their right or normal states, and they will like look down at themselves. They will look at their partners, their current partners, and they'll be like, "Oh, yeah, okay." And then there's a slight reddening of skin as people are in various stages of embarrassment, most especially the teenagers who were frolicking on the beach on the other side over there. They are the most embarrassed.
Sure they are.
But they will start to orient to get their clothes back on and clean themselves up. Or clean themselves up and then get their clothes on, whichever way.
Wow, that didn't
needed.
that got that didn't take a lot to whip them out of.
Schoolmarm Theckard.
I mean, 34, man. To remind
good.
them about.
Oh, no.
Okay, that's a legendary roll right there.
It's pretty good.
The check is fine for doing it, but I mean, we need to get him like an engraved ruler.
I was gonna say like a yardstick and just wrap somebody on the knuckles.
Yeah, so they gather themselves together and they say, well, what brings you out here this afternoon? Now, it's not afternoon.
You have stayed a while and listened to the wilderness. It's time to return home.
It's morning of the day after you think it is.
There's various looks of confusion. Like, what do you mean? Like, we left this morning.
All night. You've been out here all night.
Morning of the next day, your families are home, worried, sick, afraid that you've been eaten or turned into monsters.
It is the 21st of Ordis. When did you think it is?
And it's not the 21st, it's the 20th.
No, it's
It is the
not.
21st.
Promise, it's the 21st.
You've
Your
spent a
families,
whole day.
You'll pull
your
out
families
a chart
think
with,
it's
like,
the
phases of
21st
the
too.
moon and everything, and like
Yeah.
show them
Yeah.
that it's like
You've
the
marked it off.
21st.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're obviously confused, but they will believe you. They're not questioning you. The questioning was confusion rather than like doubting your word.
Honest disbelief, yeah.
1 second, please.
No worries.
So is it something in the water? I didn't hear any music to expect it to be a satyr. What are we thinking, guys?
That's my fucking
Something that
dog.
needs to be purged.
Oh.
Wait. See, I always figured Theckard would be a dirty old man, not the other way around. I'm gonna say it right to him too. I just figured you'd be a dirty old man, not a prude.
You're a disgusting little creature sometimes. What do you think I mean by purged? Banish them back to their own realm. They don't belong here.
Banish a Fae.
Do you know how to do that?
No, I don't know how to do it.
No?
Asking you.
Oh, hell no.
A pick to the face banishes most things eventually.
Does it?
I mean, like I rolled
Well,
a
I mean-
freaking 4 occultism check, so I mean,
It
I don't know that
banishes their ability to cause problems if they can't breathe or if they're leaking severely.
Sorry.
So, sorry. No, I was just we were just talking. So, we were talking about like banning Fae, because obviously these people are under some damn spell. I speak Fae. Can I like say in Fae like show yourselves?
Yeah, you can say that.
Yeah, I'd like to have an audience with whoever the hell did this shit to the Barnhole people.
Okay. Nothing
What do I need to roll?
responds to that, and
Okay.
the people, when you speak in a language that they don't understand, they're like, "What are you saying? Sorry, we don't speak whatever you're saying."
That's fine. Not talking to you. Keep getting dressed.
Record will
Anyway.
say in
Nope.
Sackfroth to Lucas, "You are one confused individual."
Do I speak Sackfroth? I don't think I do. I do not. So I have no idea what you said.
The people are like, look at it, at the group, and they're like, "Guys, are you?"
And
Pull yourselves together. It is time to leave.
and I mean,
Where are
I
your
like,
goods? Your people are waiting for you.
and since I have no idea what he said to me in Faye, I'm gonna tell him to go fuck himself.
Nice.
In Faye, in response, you clearly have no control of yourself or your mental faculties.
All
Have you
right.
seen me?
I'm gonna look at the two of them going back and forth and going, that language sounds like spider legs big spider legs on River Rock. What are you talking?
And in Taldane, I say, fucking Faye, dude. We're speaking fucking Faye.
Well, stop it. If they're close enough, they can hear you.
Fuck them. I want to talk to them. But they're a little scared.
I don't
And
think
in
that's
Faye,
even-
and in
Hold
Faye,
on.
Go
If
ahead.
you're gonna go do that, that's fine. Make sure I'm not close enough to you to be your love interest, possibly. I'm gonna
That's
back
fine.
up a few steps.
And like I hear what he says, and then like in Faye, I say, but these little shits don't want to show themselves. They want to be little cowards. So I'll just turn and walk away.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take her, and I'm gonna like, because I hate this whining because I know it's bothering you guys.
Okay. Cool. So the occultism check didn't get us anywhere. It's clear. Well, at the moment, nobody's responding to this idea of calling Faye out. So if they are here, they're either just refusing to respond or they're just not here. So what's our next point of call? These people are now dressed and ready to go. They gather the cart. They are making their way, happy to make their way back to their campsite to gather, to put down their tents and everything.
We're missing two of them still, right?
No. There's two over
You're all
here.
Oh,
okay. They're coming over. Like, they're the most red-faced because they're the teenagers. They're like, you know, I didn't realize what they were doing.
Well,
I mean, if they remember.
Remember what?
That's previous night.
So to them, the previous night is the 19th, not even the 20th.
Right.
Yeah, they lost all time until we interrupted them from whenever
I want to know what is the last thing they remembered before being enchanted. Like if they remember the creature that showed up, or they remember someone showing up at camp, or any of that.
So they remember gathering.
They don't even remember setting camp?
Nope. They do not recall, like, so they remember first setting up their tents, but they didn't, like, set up camp and then immediately, like, they set up camp earlier in the day, ready for the nighttime when it came. Like, that was their lunchtime activity, to set up camp and be ready so that they could just come in and, like, not have to do that at nighttime. So they remember setting up the camp, then they remember going out and gathering in the afternoon. They don't recall at all going back and sleeping or this morning.
Is the wagon here with them?
Yes.
What's in it?
What's in it? Yeah, what's in it?
Everything that they gathered, that they bought, basically.
I'm going to make an herbalism check to see if I notice anything out of the ordinary.
Ask Lindsay if she can detect magic on it.
Yeah, Lindsay will detect magic. That's a pretty good herbalism check. Decent, at least.
It's reasonable.
Here.
Okay. Just give me a second here.
Yeah, do what you need to.
What's this do? Okay. Immediately upon, like, checking this out, you recognize something's wrong in some of these ingredients. These ingredients don't normally grow in this climate. There's a number of them here that shouldn't be here.
How the hell did they get these? Deckard, look at this. This doesn't grow here.
Sure.
That doesn't grow here. They're not even from this client.
Matt?
Yeah.
Metagaming, I have an idea of what I should roll, but I want to know what you want me to roll.
To
Because at
identify
Lore Master,
alchemy
I
is
have
probably...
First World, I have.
Yeah. Identify alchemy. So crafting, probably.
Crafting? Sure.
You know exactly what this is. Okay. You're pretty blown away.
37.
Right? You're pretty blown away. These are commoners that we're talking about here. Okay? And somehow they have come across, and they probably didn't know it. In fact, you are entirely sure that they had no idea. They came across the ingredients for Succubus Kiss, a rare alchemical drug.
They dosed themselves.
Wow.
And it's taken in the form of lozenges normally. You don't think that they took lozenges. You think that the mixture of ingredients was enough to basically create a lesser version of their effect. The normal effect, you know, with a 37, a critical success, you know that they heighten the body's pleasure and pain stimuli.
Awesome. So, a tonic of Slaanesh.
You also know that there are side effects, potentially. The worst include heart attacks, strokes, vision and hearing loss. You know that addiction is extremely common. The DC against addiction is 28. These are commoners. They're going to be addicted. You know this now. And you know when this wears off, which is 8 hours normally, so it's probably coming up pretty soon, is your guess. Right? When this wears off, they are going to have negative effects. Any of the following. Right? It's going to be blinded, deaf, unconscious, potentially any of that, depending on how they save coming out.
I will inform them of this and tell them it's a good thing that I came along because I also am capable of treating such conditions. So just be cautious and stay attentive.
What I miss?
In addition to everything else,
junkies.
Well, no, they're unintentional junkies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They accidentally gathered up the materials for a drug called Succubus's Kiss. They did not realize they were doing so and managed to contaminate themselves with enough of the ingredients to have the effect. The save DC for this drug to not be addicted is 28, and these are commoners.
28. That's even hard for some of us.
50-50 shot. I'd have a 50-50 shot pretty much.
Yeah,
Right? And you're level 7. Going on 8.
No, actually, I wouldn't. I'd need to roll 14, so I'd have a...
Right? Like,
40,
this is
40%.
serious bullshit. I am also going to pop the formula for Succubus Kiss into your list because you critically succeeded.
Oh yeah,
Now you need those people.
Theckard needs to make the whole amount of ingredients that they just did into the batch that we have. And look, cold turkey's one thing. Some of these people might lose their fucking mind completely if you make them do that.
No, I can actually cure stupefied. I can cure sickened. I can cure, like, pretty much all of the side effects.
Blinded, deafened.
Yeah, I can cure that.
Well,
Do you have
good.
your heart attack?
No. That's, I mean.
So
maybe
you think
because
you're
I
going to have
medicine,
to, like, watch over these people for probably the next hour or two until that happens and be with them when they go through their, their withdrawal and...
Can I ask you a theory?
Yeah.
Can I try something?
Yeah.
Since I know this recipe now.
Yeah.
And I know alchemy and I can craft it, can I also utilize my cooking or tea lore skill to make a very weakened form of it to remove or reduce their symptoms of withdrawal? Like intentionally, like a sabotage variant of this using the cooking and tea lore or something like that to...
You're trying to make methadone? What the?
Yes. And also, while we're waiting to watch these people, maybe you should safely stow all these ingredients and take them away from these people. They don't need that.
Yeah. He would have already been doing that.
Right, so a number of things. Yes, I'm happy for you to roll crafting. The DC's high, but I'll allow you to roll it.
Okay.
I
like the idea of utilizing his tea lore knowledge as well with it to make a weaker like tea form.
I mean, 30 is pretty good. Let me just check here. So
my audio just
normally 7, 23. Yeah, you're fine. You can make. You don't think that this is going to be a good long-term solution, Theckard? But you think you can tie them over to not have a horrific, withdrawal symptoms before you get back to town. But you think they're going to have a very bad night. In addition to having to face their partners and their families when they go home.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to lessen the effect is all. to make it a little easier.
So
not
you
crash
think
as
you
hard.
can do that for today? You don't think that that's going to be effective after today?
Okay.
It'll tie them over, is what I'm saying.
I mean, the truth is
Yeah.
they were accidentally poisoned.
So the next thing that I want to point out, just make sure that we're on the same page, it's very clear to you that these ingredients don't grow here. It's clear to you that either
Do they were
they've been placed here or there's something's gone on. We have
That was what I was going to want to find out, where they got these from. Like, talk to him. Hey, where did you pick these up?
so they will describe just going along and picking the ingredients along the thing. They didn't even realize that this doesn't grow here. It was just among the herbs and things that they were gathering. Like they didn't think twice to like identify them. It was like, oh, that looks like a herb. I'm gonna pick it.
Check where they point out and see if it is actually growing there, or if someone intentionally sabotaged it by adding it to their stash.
It is
Yeah,
growing, but it looks like it is. It doesn't look like it has been here for very long. The roots of these plants are not deep.
I'm going to uproot them and keep them alive.
Okay.
Wrap them in like other moist plant matter,
Sure.
grasses or whatever, and
I've got-
stash them.
I've got some extra sacks, I think, on my mount.
Yeah, that'll be helpful because
Yeah,
we
put
need
them
to
in
bring them
burlap
back and
sacks
see if
with
we can
some
figure
dirt,
out what's
mud.
going on. This is exactly the kind of stuff that it's like, yeah, we got to know how and why and where this happened. This is not.
Plus, you're going to need the
uproot all
plants
of
if you're gonna make more of it later.
Well, yeah, but that's not something he's going to likely want to do. It's more if it becomes a necessity.
Look, I'm just going to say it flat out. If we end up at war with somebody, we got to be talking about taking a city that we're sieging. It'd be really nice to be able to, I don't know, spray something on them that has them ripping their armor off to be highly distracted as we're making our assault.
It'd have to change the
Okay.
form of them. It's by default an ingested form.
Bioweapon.
And you
So we
think
need somebody
is pull
truly
the
sneaky
Crusader-
to put it in their food. Then
Yeah, I was gonna say you could play the Kingdom Come Deliverance method and sneak into their camp and slip it in their food.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you think that, so I want to be above board too and say like the exact nature of them losing time is not catered for in the description of this drug. So there's something else going on as well, but at least you know what the main thing was that has clouded their minds and what they're going to get withdrawal symptoms from. The rest of it, what made them lose this amount of time, and not realize what they were doing. Like, it's one thing being a little bit, frisky, and an entire other thing not knowing who you're being frisky with. Like, that's very different things.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
all got roofied.
yeah, well, beyond roofied, but yeah, still
Anyway,
it's the same
So I'm
concept.
going to ask Lindsay to help me in reassuring them that they're victims of either accidental or intentional poisoning and some sort of foul magic that's stolen time from them.
All right. So
And,
I
I'm going to attempt to reassure them and say, look, you people are victims. So you need not be ashamed of what's happened. You're not at fault for some foul magic is at play here. And it doesn't seem to be with the intention of creating harmony.
okay, very good. They will take that on. What's this check for? Oh, Kel, yeah, that's that.
Check.
Yeah, absolutely. They are calmed about that. They really appreciate you checking in. and going over this and letting them know. They're very thankful for the group, like, kicking them out of their stupor, and all of everything that you've said and done up till date. I have one final piece of information for Thekard. As you are gathering the roots and keeping them intact, something that you find but you don't recognize at this stage is a sap, which seems to be because you're pulling them out by the roots. It seems to be coating at least some of the roots or around the roots. This particular sap, and you at this stage don't know what that is. It's not a function of these plants normally.
Okay, then yeah, he's going to collect some of that and work to identify it.
And you should also wash your hands between touching any of 2 different substances.
Oh, he's not touching it directly. He's not that crazy. If it has to be touched directly, that's Hortum's job.
Yeah. Construct.
Hortum's a construct. He can be recreated if need be.
Probably also not going to get horny.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Kind of lacks hormones.
Well, I don't know. I don't want to hear about anybody's fucking construct sex bot, okay?
Please no. All right. Well, that gives us a good few things to go on.
He has no parts.
These people go through their stuff. I'm going to roll some saves for them now. There are 6 of them, so I'm going to roll 6 d20s all at once. See how we go. All right.
I got one.
Good rolls.
2 of them got real good.
Maybe not so much.
Yeah, so 2 of them are alright. One of them especially is good. The rest of them are not doing so hot.
Is there a difference between failure and critical failure in this case?
Yeah. Yeah, let's see, it's 24. So the 3, that person's going to fall unconscious. And wake up blinded unless they're treated. The rest are going to have various things, some palpitations, some fever, different things that will pass. The natural 20 and obviously doesn't have anything, feels on top of the world. And the 19 has a pretty good time of it too. Nothing especially untoward. You can deal with it. It's unpleasant for the rest of them, but not devastating except for the 3. That person, whoever that is, I think it would be one of the older ones, probably, rather than, because these teens are already pretty pretty mentally challenged by the fact that they were together. You think that the way that they're acting now afterwards, maybe there's some sort of taboo here that you're unaware of, but they are very clearly not especially happy that they ended up in each other's arms. So yeah, the others,
Something more at play than that normal, huh? Great.
Yeah, but they are teenagers. They are fickle fickle beasts. Perhaps, I don't know. It might be the point of, it was my brother's girlfriend or something like that. That sort of level of, oh dear, no. That's that sort of level.
Yeah, that becomes an even more awkward beyond compare situation, even if it's beyond your control.
Right, so this isn't like anything beyond that, but it's just making it very awkward for them. Okay. So, that all being said, so one of the more adults is the one that has the hardest time with this. But the rest of the adults, you know, they're not happy, but, you know, it's like, okay, we were affected by a thing. Malkov's really good diplomacy check there, or Kaldor's really good diplomacy check there, helped them to come to terms with the fact that, you know, they weren't in their right minds. They didn't have the agency to make these choices. You know, they're probably still going to have long and difficult conversations with their partners when they get home, but at least they have a reason, at least they have something to point to, and they do ask that eventually, you know, you either rid the land of this. They ask maybe that Thekard writes up the descriptions of these particular plants or this particular combination for them to have as a rule not to do again, because they don't even really remember properly doing that. It's pretty cloudy in their minds, so they're just saying, please, you know, put the descriptions of the plants, put what the combination is that we shouldn't touch, so that we know not to do this again, so that we can put a warning in, you know.
Probably also should start looking out for that unnatural sap so that they don't accidentally touch it on plants that they normally would pick.
Right. Yeah. So
Becker would be happy to write up hey, this person has been under the effect of a dose of succubus kiss.
Yeah.
Unintentionally by their own behest.
Yeah.
I think we just go make
include and circumstances include.
Yeah.
And then a list of the ingredients and what they look like, kind of a naturalist's documentation on them.
Okay. So given all of that, I'm happy to sort of resolve this scene and have us head back. If there's anything else you want to do, though, either before we leave or on our way, feel free to narrate that and we'll sort it out. Otherwise, I'm happy to move the scene back to town. So up to you guys. Anything before that?
Who do you think planted those plants?
I
bet the hag.
Deckard, do you wanna like, so you got those plants in the plant matter. Do you want to take like a soil sample too, just in case, to see if maybe that's
how you take them alive. You pull them up by the roots. You don't yank them out by the roots. You dig around them and lift them out with some of the plants.
So I guess you did get a soil sample as well.
Yes, he has.
So, cool.
Yeah.
All right. No worries. Thanks.
Cool.
The investigator's making sure the samples got taken. Gesundheit.
At least I muted.
Yeah.
All right. Very good. So
okay.
Yeah, we head back.
Yeah. Vrar is certain with no evidence whatsoever that a hag planted those plants amongst the rest of those. And he's going to, say that for the rest of the trip back.
I'm sure it's a hag.
I think it's the cult. Believe that's necessarily the case. There could be
look
others.
at Thekard.
Keep in mind,
Thekard is a human, right?
Necessarily aligned with the lower plane.
Yeah, yes. But I'm going to start looking at you, Funky. We see both your eyes. What color are they?
The same color they have always been. Kobold. What do you think they are?
No,
have you never looked?
Probably not. He doesn't pay that close enough attention to you. At this point, however, if he honestly thinks there's a hag involved, you might be a changeling. So you might be hearing that calling and, Mom might be calling you home. He's checking to see if your eyes are different colors.
No, he's all good.
Okay. At that point, he's like,
He'll look right at you and say, I'm as much a changeling as your potential to be a dragon is.
I'm going to look right at you and go, I am a dragon. I am a tunnel flood kobold sewer dragon.
No. You are a sewer lizard.
Hold on. Where's the nearest body of water that I can drown you in?
There's a waterfall
Because-
right there.
That's the problem.
Because I don't think you're going to be doing much with alchemists while you're going burble burble.
It only takes an action.
All right. So yeah, you head back to town. The people that were affected go back to their families and have their discussions behind closed doors.
I will go with the alchemist's spouse to him and give him the detailed information on the ingredients so he's aware of what happened. Because I don't think I really need to tell him what they had if I just tell him, hey, they stumbled across this list of ingredients that someone had transplanted there and caused to grow. I will let you speak, and afterwards I need your help to identify a substance around these plants that was helping them grow, I would assume.
You have to guide him a little bit more than that to get to the understanding that you were intending. But you do guide him there. It just takes a little bit longer and a bit more intentionality on your behalf to do, because this is a rare substance. He didn't know. You kind of have to guide him down that line of thought, but
Yeah,
he'll get there.
He would know that the herbs by themselves shouldn't be here, number one. 'Cause he
Right.
would be
That's
familiar with
for
what
sure. Yeah.
is in the area.
Yeah.
And then number two, I'd say, I would understand he might not know. And just in case you didn't know, these substances are used to make, and I would inform of succubus kiss drug and what that involves.
Okay. So, if Thecka doesn't mind, he would be interested in taking a portion of this sap and testing it with some Ungurant.
Yeah.
Some.
Deckard's plan was to work with him on trying to identify it while he's, while the others are dealing with whatever in town, but he wanted to allow him to speak with his spouse first about the effects.
Okay. Yeah. They definitely have a behind closed doors discussion.
Oh, yeah. At least knowing that he's an alchemy and then what was involved, he's hoping he can be a little bit more understanding of.
None of these people are happy, but at the same time, none of them are like going absolutely ballistic, because you all have come in with them and said, like, set these people down and said, look, something has gone on here that is out of their control. Right, so you're advocating for them, and so it's a different situation than if they intentionally did this. They're not happy, but they're also not.
I wouldn't expect them to be happy with this. Nobody would be happy.
The most visceral reaction is by the brother of this guy whose girlfriend that is. Yeah.
Understandable.
There's probably gonna be a bruised eye in the morning.
I will
Teenagers.
Right?
You're not going to stop the teenagers from punching each other over that.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I know that situation sounds horrible, but I know some marriages that would end even over that situation happening, regardless of whether it was one or the other's faults or not. That they're bad marriages already, but that's a really rough thing to have happen to anyone.
Right. It's going to take them some time to recover.
Deckard would be smart enough to take the teenage boy aside and lay it out in extra excruciating detail just what the drug does and how much it makes you out of your mind.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, yep, and he's still gonna go home and punch the guy in the face. But that's okay. There's no harm done.
It means he's gonna punch him in the face once, not beat him to death.
Beat him to death, yeah, exactly. So it's all good.
That was more the assurance why Deckard would lay it on very
I'm not gonna pull Bob.
And everything about that.
Yeah, not gonna pull a Bob.
It's like, yeah.
Or my friend Randy.
It's a warning punch. Don't do that again. All right. So
There might be some different team assignments for gathering teams.
Yeah, that's probably true. Like, we're not going out with them ever again.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, they probably are never going to go out as a group again.
All right,
However,
so-
Thickard will also suggest a list of local plants that are safe be provided to them. And if it's not on this list, avoid it. And maybe catalog what it is based on your visuals, take a sketch of it, or carefully take a sample of it and bring it back to the alchemist to identify, but don't take it if it's not on this list of region normal plants.
All right, very good. Well,
they didn't see none of these people saw any signs of anything being like disturbed, like somebody been planting things there, or
no. And you saw no signs of like evidence of people planting in them. No.
I will turn and not being cultivated. Turn and look at Thickard and go, what kind of creature oozes that some kind of goo sap like that can turn plants from one kind into another? Does that exist? Is that some kind of druid?
I'll roll nature and see if I can think of something.
Thickard know anything
does that give me anything?
Do anything close to that?
27. Oh, 18. What? No, wait.
Really? The only druid capable of doing that.
Okay, so with a 27,
Jesus.
You have a number of theories that might explain that. The most obvious one that occurs to you that doesn't necessarily please you is and it's just a theory right now amongst other theories. I'm not going to tell you all the other theories. You can extrapolate that. But one of these theories, the one that's sort of sticking with Thickard at the moment, that may change, but it's sticking with him at the moment, Spriggans. This looks like Spriggan sap.
I will get that description of a Spriggan and provide it to the alchemist and his spouse and see if mayhaps one of those have been seen in the area.
What's this Sprig? Immediately, Vroar is puzzled beyond belief because what he's picturing involves
recall knowledge on Spriggans. I don't know anything about Spriggans.
Yeah. What nature check?
I even know the name. I even know that that's a type of. Have I heard of that creature before?
Am I allowed to make another nature check after my previous nature check for Spriggans or no? If not, it's fine.
I think that's part of. I think it's part of the thing.
What do I know about Spriggans? That's the 22 that I just got.
Okay, so I'm doing a little bit of a very slight variation to what Pathfinder lore is, and I'll tell you where I'm going with it as I'm going. Okay, so in Pathfinder 2 normally, Spriggans are sort of relatives to gnomes. They let's see. They have like enclaves of their kind. They're small. They've got the gnome trait. They are humanoid. They have the Spriggan trait, which says kin to gnomes. Spriggans tend to be evil and can grow in size to resemble giants as a thing. And what I'm doing with these Spriggans in concert with one of the themes of Kingmaker and these particular Spriggans, what these particular Spriggans are doing, is I'm giving them a Elder Scrolls Spriggan overlay, which
Kind of
means
what I was wondering.
yeah, which means that we're giving them a plant trait over the top. They're still humanoid. They're still gnome traits. They're still Spriggan traits, but they have an overlay of plant as well, where you could consider them a marriage between gnomes and leshies, where some of the leshy traits can flow into their bloodlines. It's like if they've taken adopted ancestry, anything like that, and you can take some of those heritage feats and stuff in character creation. Those can breed both ways, towards gnome or towards and towards plant. So they can get some of these sunlight absorption traits, some of these like producing fruits traits. This is the type of thing that I'm going to introduce to this idea of the Spriggans based on what I've read about what they're doing and their intention in this area. That's not to say that every Spriggan in Kingmaker is going to fit under that description, but these particular Spriggans, what Thekard is presenting to you is that he knows this about some Spriggans, that they have this offshoot, this variety of them that have taken on this plant subtrait and breed in like out these things, and that's where this sap comes from. Okay, everyone get that? Understand?
Got it.
Cool.
What would they want this drug for? Or is
Maybe
that
they're just pawns. Maybe they're just pawns in this cult.
And remember, Bror will look right at you and go, well, as much as I would love to like to blame the most common denominator, we don't know for certain that's even associated with. This could be just straight coincidence, totally unrelated.
Regardless, it's a hazard to those that live here.
Agreed.
I think we should see if we can help put it down.
Sure. I'm just trying not to see Lamashtu under every rock or plant in this circumstance.
At this stage, like I want to facilitate your freedom, but I also want to facilitate the thrust of the story. All of what has happened here, this was my decision to put this in. This was my story arc that I've started to introduce here. It has relations, but the intention here is to give you something interesting that's kind of happening on the edge. And what I need to say in this moment in relation to that is, yes, your characters do probably think that something needs to be done. However, it's pretty clear to you that the immediate threat, like that Thekard has gone and harvested everything. Not only has he gone and harvested everything and brought it back, but he's also like educating all of these people and making sure that they understand not to like gather weird ingredients anymore and stuff like that. So the immediate threat is, for now not there. Doesn't mean I'm saying you have to walk away from it. I'm saying that you can without risk.
You're saying it's safe to go ahead and move on to Pravoi. It's not a.
We've already
dooming them.
we've already resolved the biggest issue here. They know not to pick these ingredients together as a group. From that, we can maybe figure out what's going on with it elsewise later, but we need to get to Restov
Yeah.
so we can check that library and be done with that.
I reach out to Megavarn and I tell him like what happened and like wish him and his town well and thank him for his hospitality and his people's hospitality during this obviously rough time, and I hope that we've repaid your kindness with what we've found.
Yeah, absolutely. He will ensure he will let you know that he will personally make sure that whatever classes children take here, that this is included in that going on. He will check in personally with whoever educates these kids, the kids of the settlement, when they get old enough to learn about herbs and stuff, that this is part of their education. And he will offer you free rooms and meals for the night before you head off to Restov, because by now it is about 5 p.m. anyway by the time you get back.
Drinks, food, sleep. Continue to harass Thackard about being a prude.
And I will get Kaldor his resilient rune. So that is in your equipment now, but you'll just have to, I can do it. So you want that attached to your full plate. Details. Resilient. Done. That's done. So I've given you the rune, and I'm just going to put in here attached to plate armor. Done.
Yeah.
There we go. Cool. Wonderful. Actually, maybe I just, because otherwise your value is going to be too high. I'm just going to take it off, and then it's still attached to your full plate. Just yeah, that's better. All right. Cool. You guys can rest. Any last things before we head out from Varnhold?
No,
But I can think of.
I'm really happy that we were able to do this for them in roughly a day. And away we go.
Cool. Right, so we are going to this map. Now, I don't know if there's a Restov map. I haven't actually looked at that. I'm just gonna have a bit of a look around
I
here.
didn't see one in the Kingmaker provisions, anyways.
Yeah, I think that I don't think that there is. We're gonna have to imagine a little bit. Let me see if I can find one just on the interwebs.
Fine. Yeah, I think there is one I saw.
Yeah, there's this. That'll do. Free City. I mean, it's not in huge detail, but that's okay. Let me just copy that and put it into Paint for you. And show it on stream. So there it is. Yeah. So that's that. Does it have visit that? So one
Wow.
is the Citadel, the home to the mayor of Restov. 2, Pia, is the Temple of Eristil. We'll just quickly go over this just so that you get an idea. Obviously, I don't have details of all of this. I just have basics. Got the Aldori wheel, which is like a dueling table. We've got a Coelian livery, which is buyers and sellers of horses. We've got Restov Grand Theatre. We've got restaurants. We've got Matong Dotor, which is a private club, a 5-star establishment. The Northern Schools, Rugovia House, which is a clan. We've got Ludovengo's Assembly Palace, which is repaired, blah blah blah. It's like a high society kind of gathering area. We've got the Aldori Academy. We've got the Temple of Abadar, a Red Table Square, City Market. We've got inns. We've got Lowtown or Redberg. They're the same. They're different names for the same place, which has a dwarven sector, as well as, it's like a lower quality area, but lots of dwarves, many dwarves, in fact, with smithies and stuff underground. Smokehouse, the Dragon's Toast, which is a big sort of Lowtown dwarf inn. Got the new Rossland Chancery, Gilgood Trading House. So lots of like trade going on. Common houses, more inns. You've got Southern Schools along Riverside. You've got the Brilliant Sword School, more inns, and then gates. So they're the sort of things that are around, just to give you a general idea of what Restov includes. Obviously, you have contacts here, including Lady Eldori and all the people of her house that you met. I believe her specific house is out of town. It's on a manor residence outside of town, but you can go and visit her at any point if you wish. Other than that, it looks like Kingmaker doesn't spend a lot of time here. It's not intended to do a lot. It means that we can narrate what you guys do. I'll try to give you immersion where I can, but I really don't know that much about it other than what I've already kind of said and read out from what's on the interwebs. At least it gives you a general picture of it. Also, what I'll say is give you some of the dimensions that we're talking about. We're talking about a population of about 18,500 people. Most of those, nearly 20,000, are humans. Like 3/4 of them, more than 3/4 of them are humans. The next biggest population are those dwarves, and then down from there. It's an autocracy with Lord Mayor Iosef Selemius being the ruler, and obviously the Aldoris having a big part part to play here in the Eldori Academy and things like that.
Yeah.
Sword Lords. We also have firebrands in the city. And the main church, there are a number, as you heard, but the main one is the church to Eristil and is watched over by a high priest by the name of Esvanki Keeg. It's mostly Taldans. And is a trade and cultural center. So that gives you a general kind of overall picture of it. It's a level 9 city, which means that you can source common things and sell common things up to level 9 without penalty. All right.
There is a lot there. There's a big ass town.
Yeah, like nearly 20,000 people. That's not insignificant.
Oh, you know where this library is, Lucas?
Let me do a It's in. Is it in Burvoy?
Yep.
I think Theckard would
Okay.
know where it is. just
Well, I
'cause
mean,
that
I've got
is-
lore skill for Burvoy, so
Okay.
I'm gonna roll that. I'm pretty sure that they have me on the list of like like frequent people. So yes,
They
I
have
know
you
where I'm a frequent visitor.
They have you on the list of plants not to allow inside. What?
Yes, they're probably going to be taken aback by my current visage. But yeah, I'm very well acquainted with where it is
All right.
and the people there.
Excellent. In that case, what I'm going to say, it doesn't look like it's specifically put there, but what I'm going to say is it's going to be in between the temple, which is 2 here, and 5, which is the Grand Theater. So in this general area with all of these like functionary kind of buildings in here, there's going to be the library, other public services, civic services, things like that in this general area, okay? Just to give you a general idea. Cool.
Okay.
So yeah, you know where to go. You can head over there.
What are we gonna do, Keldor, while they're
I
digging through books?
I point on the map where the tavern is, or the inn, and I also point on the map where the local shrine or temple is for if Kaldor wants to like go and I don't know like what the actual shrine or temple is to. I don't think it's to his deity.
Aristil, and the other one was Abadar. They're the two main ones.
No, it's not his.
Well, there'll be a shrine anyway, too.
Yeah. So I let them know where they are, and the market in case Kaldor wants to do any more shopping and sell the ring. But I'm gonna open the door to the library for Theckard after you.
All right. Well, it's Restov. It's a pretty significant city, which means it's a pretty significant library.
Yep. So I'm gonna go upstairs because I know where the stuff is. You're more than welcome to like go. Like, do you have anything in particular that you're looking for? Like, I know what I'm
just
looking for.
the things on this creatures we've been dealing with and circumstances down there.
Okay. So those are upstairs around the corner from where I'm going to be. But
What are you looking into?
I'm looking into like rituals and how they feed into what we are dealing with, but they're very closely related to what you're looking into, I believe. So that's the reason why they're so close together. But yeah, off we go. And I am going to roll an academia check to see how well I do at my gleaning.
Nice. So remember, so this is about rituals.
Yep. Oh, should I do occultism then? Sorry, my bad.
No, that's fine. You're good.
Whatever. Doesn't matter either way.
This is still about the cult, right? That like it's still the general.
Yeah, this is still about Lamashtu.
Yeah. Okay. So that is at a library. So I need to go into my list here. Give me a second, please. We have Bloom Research, so I'm going to copy this down to here. We are going to have a new one, which is Restov Library. And you got library, so you did an occultism. But they're successes, so I'll just give you a success at this stage. So we have 1 RP from you towards that. Now, we didn't go back to the hunting grounds and do anything as far as research there. That's fine. So we have, at the moment, 11 in total after that. Lucas doing his research. Deckard, what would you like to roll? So, what it says here, we'll come back to that. Religion, First World, Abyss, Occultism, Perception.
I caught half of that, and I do apologize.
Okay.
Maybe he was making things difficult.
We
You said, what do I want to roll? And then you listed off some.
Yep. Research checks at an academy or library. The ones listed, so the lowest DCs, are Religion, First World, Abyss, Occultism, or Perception. Anything apart from that will be higher DC. First World 26. That is a success. So we have 2 RP here at the library.
Maybe I kind of would think probably Lore Master could work. But I went with First World because that's what you mentioned.
Okay. What are the others doing while these guys are researching in the library?
Napping.
I'm gonna go to the dwarven area, the dwarven quarter.
Yep.
And just kind of explore.
Okay.
If I see people in need of help that I can assist with, I will.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm just gonna mainly listen and.
So I'll read out the description of the area. It's called Lowtown or Redberg. It appears chaotic in structure until you realize that the city's 1,000+ dwarves could not possibly all live in the few quarters found amongst the score or more smithies. The entire area runs 3 levels underground and 4 in some spots. Though more formal stores line the border, the best work and prices are found hard by the forgers themselves, as the smiths appreciate those not afraid of getting dirt on their clothes and hands. So if you want to give a hand, they're more than happy to share the load around.
Except another dwarf.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just find it funny because it fits well. He's a dwarf.
Yeah. So if you want, you could spend your day earning income, and you can have up to the city level, which is level 9 of a task. You don't have to pitch for a level 9 task, but you can pitch anything up to a level 9 task to earn income.
Okay. What exactly does that mean?
It means you roll athletics and you spend your time helping out people and you get paid for it.
Okay. Sure. I also want to, keep my ears open for any talk about stuff related to the Lamash too.
And so the task level, right? So you can go anywhere between 0 and 9. The lower, the less you get paid. The higher, the more you get paid. The lower, the less the DC. The higher, the more the DC.
And how much DC per level? Or is it non-linear?
It's a little bit non-linear. It's generally 1 or 2 points of difference.
Yeah, what is the 9 difficulty?
26.
What's an 8?
So like 24, 23, 22, 20, downwards from there.
Go with 24.
24 is an 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, you just get it. You just get it. Nice.
I picked right.
You did. So you spent, and what's your proficiency in athletics?
Master.
Master? Yep. So they will pay you 3 gold pieces for your day's labor, and thanks. Obviously, you're helping them out, but you get money for it. It's just part of Pathfinder.
Okay. And do I hear anything about Lamashtu the entire day?
About Lamashtu?
Yeah, is there any rumblings about it? Talk about the plant things, any of the issues that we've been experiencing?
Yeah, alright. So we haven't done this in a while. We haven't done a rumors check.
Ooh, that's nice. Yeah. What is that? Diplomacy or a society?
No, I'm just rolling.
Oh, okay.
Alright, let's roll a D. Actually, let me look down here. Let's roll just to see. And then I'll peruse. Actually, I'll roll twice. Because you're in an area with your own kind. This may or may not be relevant. Okay. Because what these so the way that these rumors work is per which area you're in, not how far along the story you are. So what I'm gonna do. Can I get you to roll me a d10, please? Actually, you do 2 d10s for me?
Me?
Malkov, please.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Thank you. So, Malkov, you hear a few rumors. The ones about the local area are we've got a 10 and a 14 there. An old friend of a friend had a brother, a traveling wizard, who went missing in the Stolen Lands a while back. His spellbook is probably just rotting away in the underbrush or in some monster's lair. Shame, really. So that's not nothing, basically. And 14 was actually a... so what I'm going to do with this is something interesting. So the rumor originally was some gnome explorers went missing, blah, 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 down the Skunk River. However, because we've advanced that story, and because we discovered what had happened to them, and we even saved some of them, you come across some of their family members who are going to thank you for your, or your city rather, because I don't think it was these characters. Was it these characters?
Yeah, it was.
It was these
We
characters.
rescued because we pulled some of the wagons out.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, they thank you, and they're going to, because they're gnome explorers, or families thereof, they're going to tell you about the rest of these rumors that are going to be here, in addition to securing you lodgings for free and your party for the rest of your stay. Okay? So they're going to offer the party a clean and fresh place to stay in Restov for free for the duration of your stay. And anything that you want to know about the local area, they will help you out with, in addition to the following tidbits of information. A group of Spriggans live somewhere in the Tors. They've been at war with the Gnomon Centaurs for as long as anyone, I reckon. Rumour holds that the current Sprigga leader stole a magic bow from the Centaurs quite a few years ago, and that's what started the whole fight between them, right? So that's one of the rumours. The next rumour is... Baron Drelev was a plant from Pitax from the start, and is now only showing his true colours. Surrendering to King Castruccio was just a sham. You have no idea what that's about, and you have no idea whether that's true or false or anything else. The same with all of these
That's
rumors.
royal
They're just
politics. I don't
rumors.
really care. Way more interested in the Spriggan thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So you've got that. You've got a place to stay based on the state of the story.
I'm
You've
also
got...
going to share when they talk about the Spriggans that we've encountered Spriggans that may be contaminating plants in the area to grow things that shouldn't naturally grow here in hopes of poisoning people. And so people should be careful when they go out collecting herbs and mushrooms and stuff.
Okay.
I'm spreading my own rumor.
Awesome.
But in with the hopes that I'm going to protect people from more poisonings.
Yeah. Well, as you say these things, they say, well, at least someone is fighting against the Centaurs, because the Centaurs are like violent, territorial, and if it wasn't for the Spriggans, they could be way more active than they are. I'm not saying Spriggans are good. I'm saying it's good that a bad person is fighting a bad person and keeping them at bay a little bit.
And the Tor, is that the area southeast of Arnold?
Yeah, so let's go. Yeah, we're already there. So the Tors. Hang on. That's Dunswood. Tors of Lebanese is down here. This
Mountains, okay.
mountains. Which makes sense that the Spriggans are there because those mountains are mighty close to Varnhold, which makes sense based on what we just discovered. Okay?
Okay.
Have we encountered a single centaur in all of this?
No.
I mean, I know we've stayed basically clear of their territory, I thought, but
Yeah.
They're southeast.
From what that sounds like is the centaurs are likely on this side of the map here, down to the south from Restov, significantly far from any settlements that we've come across. We've been traveling via the roads, not that way. So yeah, you haven't come across them, but you believe that's where most of them are down there. And just as me, the GM, being forthright and transparent, centaurs will come up as the story progresses.
Part of why I didn't pick one.
good to know.
Is eating centaurs people eating? Does it depend on what part you take the meat from?
I
Yeah.
think it depends on the part.
No, it's
Really?
part of the sentient creature.
I'm not going to
Typically
get into
in
this
settings,
debate.
Consuming sentient creature is cannibalism.
So we've had everybody except for Vra tell us what he's doing as we got to Restov. So Vra, what do you do while your companions are either researching or helping out the dwarves?
Farrar is going to wander the entirety of the as far into the most wealthy district as he can possibly get, juggling and stealing.
Okay.
Not major things.
So we're gonna
minor
get rid of the
things.
dick.
I'm not trying to rob anyone in particular. I'm not trying to take anything of super value. I'm just trying to see how often I get caught and how often I have to run like hell.
Make me both a stealth and a thievery check, please. Where?
Well, tell you, yeah, no, we're just gonna leave it that way.
You want to leave it that way?
Yeah, I got noticed, but I still managed to get it, and then I'm gonna run like hell.
Okay.
It's probably like an apple or some such stupid shit like that. Like, I'm hungry.
What is your proficiency in thievery, please?
Expert.
Okay. So you are going to get you're going to get coinage up to the value of 5 gold pieces. You can add that. And
Clearly, crime does pay.
Coinage added.
all right, give me a sec. Yep. Can you actually open that and open this?
Excuse me.
Okay. What I want you to do now is please roll me a D1000, please.
that going to animate?
617.
It's not.
I was hoping it would animate something.
Okay,
Big chunky die rolling across.
Yeah.
617. I am going to add a thing in your inventory now. So we are going
Okay.
to
1,000 cursed items?
we're going to create an item. We're going to edit this. And we are going to call this...
A gold bug. What? Oh.
All right, you can describe
Oh, no.
this to anyone that finds out. And we're going to put a description in here. Okay. There we go. So in your equipment, you will find that.
Yeah, are they latched on me, I'm assuming?
Hey, Matt,
Yeah.
I just refreshed your page. You still have the image up over the game.
The image. Yeah.
You have Restov,
Restov,
over
yeah, the
everything
map.
else behind. I didn't know if that was intentional.
That's fine. I'll grab it. Thank you. Yeah. So you find that that item. Congratulations. And the person that you took it off has definitely noticed you and is chasing you currently down the streets of Restov.
Can't put me on them, put them on me if I stole them from you, as I'm running off down the street with the manacles in hand. Pick the wrong person to rob.
So, do you want to tell our fine viewers what you have?
Oh, it's a pair of strung together. That says monocles. Did you mean manacles?
No, it's monocles.
Oh, so I stole somebody's glasses?
Yeah.
That's why he noticed.
Well, yeah, he noticed, but he can't ID me, and off I go.
And what is the description inside?
Oh, I haven't looked beyond. I figured I didn't have a chance to look while I'm running away.
Oh, it'll be once your heart stopped racing.
Oh, you bastard. One of them's tinted red, one of them's tinted green.
Yeah.
And make the person I just stole them's off of's eyes appear to be the same color. Meaning there's a changeling I just stole those glasses off of.
So this may develop into something later, but at the moment we've just generated that. So yeah, we'll
I'm
come
sure you're
back
not
to that.
referencing
Next
anything in
week we make
particular
the,
with this.
results.
So occasionally,
Shortly after my hag paranoia too.
yeah, I've always had difficulty with knowing what to do with thievery checks. Just going around a town and just being like, I pick a target and I do some thievery. It's like, what am I going to do with this? Sometimes I'll drop like a story hook. Sometimes I'll have something, but it's always like been really hard. And I'm like, well, you know what? I'm just gonna find an interesting thing, and we'll make a story hook out of that at some point.
Well,
when it gets close to dinner time, I'll go back to the library to meet them because that's probably when they're going to be done.
Yeah.
And let them know that we've got a place to stay.
Cool.
the question becomes, Matt,
Yep.
is while this guy's chasing me,
Yeah.
I want to duck around a corner and stop. And when he comes to come around the corner chasing me, I want to tumble through him and put his glasses back on him with my tumble through thievery thing, and then just take off again. I'm practicing. That's all I'm out here doing. I'm not really trying to like rob a whole bunch of people. I mean,
So you want to
My
give them
goal is
back?
Well, this way I can get a better look at who it is that I just did that to. And I doubt these glasses are meant to be prescription. They're just meant to cover his eyes.
Okay.
I picked somebody at random. If I want to mark this person so I know who they are.
All right. Um. Okay. So the person that you discover is an older man. He's a human, as are most of the populace. Has a thick, long, bushy, white beard, and he has a very, like, large and broad black hat. He is mostly dressed in black, and he has various pins, brass pins, in different places on his cloak, like cloak pins. And he also has a brass buckle on his belt and a brass chain that hangs down from his pants pocket, his trousers pocket.
That all looks very, very official. I'm going to put the glasses back on. I'm going to attempt to tumble through as he comes around the corner, hollering and hooting about what he was complaining about.
All right. So when you put the glasses, so you're putting them back on, like into the pocket, or when you took them?
Well, I mean, tumble through says I can, as a reaction, while I'm moving through someone, steal something from them.
Yeah.
I'm attempting to use that thievery to put these glasses back on.
All right. Make that thievery check.
Well, you want me to make the acrobatics check for tumbling through?
Yeah. Sure.
Oh, are you fucking kidding me? Now that I will hero point. I need to get away. Come on. There, that's much better. Fucking one was still visible though.
The GM's licking his lips here. It's a bad sign.
And this is why we save our hero points.
So there's the acrobatics check, and followed by the thievery check to put it back on him.
Alright. So it's not a critical failure. So what happens is you do manage to, like, try to put the glasses back into the pocket. As you move away, they're like... they're doing this in the air, like, about to fall and smash on the ground, but they don't smash on the ground. He grabs them before they can smash on the ground. And he's going to make a perception check against your... Actually, make me another stealth as you're trying to get back. And he's going to make a perception check against that. That's a really good roll. This isn't
Some
official.
asshole kobold.
So I'm going to look up something here. What can I do? It's going to be... maybe... something like this. Yeah, sure, that seems right. Perception roll. Okay, so he doesn't see you, or at least he doesn't catch you. He gets a general description of you because you got a 1 on your stealth check before, so he got a general description, but he does not catch you. You manage to bound off and blend and hide again. But this man may or may not come up again later on. We will see. But that has been that. So you got your 5 gold pieces, you got an item, but you gave it back. He has it, it hasn't been destroyed, and you got away from that. Very good. We have about an hour, potentially, it's up to an hour, before we have to finish.
I unfortunately have to be done in the 20 minutes.
20 minutes?
It would normally be done for that. Yeah, for myself. It's just with the way that my schedule has been, I have to.
All right, so we have 20
Right.
minutes. 20 minutes, half an hour. Obviously, we can continue to do research. Is there anything else that we want to do in Restov? Like, I don't want to spotlight Restov because there's nothing here in the path. Like, it's.
I mean, I'd like to probably do a little more research.
All right, so yeah, continuing to do
I know
research.
Other than research.
Yeah, I mean, we've still got we've got 2 RP right now. I mean, I think we could probably get a few more.
Yeah.
And I was also thinking we are at a big city. This might be a place to look for things to purchase and or buy. Nicely done, Lucas.
Yeah, it's absolutely.
But I don't want
a
to
good
do that
place.
on stream.
No.
So
Because we've got 20 minutes, some of you may not be interested in the research side of things right now.
I'm fine.
Know that we are leveling up. So you can have a look at your characters, you can have a look at your character stuff, have it ready bare minimum by the start of next session, but you can start on it now. We have time, so you may as well start looking at options. Now that you've gotten to Restov, you are leveling up to level 8. Okay? So that you can use this time for that.
There is one other thing I need to do while here, which was find the sleepwalkers.
Yep. We've gotten
So we
another
can try to go
2
that
from
route.
that. Yep, sleepwalkers. You can just find them. I don't require a check.
Okay.
So I'll give you this for free, alright? Number 1. Sleepwalkers aren't in Kingmaker. Okay? So anything that we do with them is off our backs. It was an interesting way to highlight that someone has noticed that something's going on with like Lucas and his dreams and stuff, and explore those threads through something that would feasibly be there. It's you know, Pathfinder has this as an option, but Kingmaker hasn't explored it necessarily as a theme. So I'm allowing that thread to flourish, but it's fully guided by us, not by Kingmaker. Okay, just so that you understand what's going on here. And I'll try
Totally do.
to have this be like character illumination. If there are things that could relate to the Kingmaker story, I will relate them back wherever I can. I'm pretty familiar with the structure of things, so wherever I can, I will try to give you something that's useful as well as interesting. But these are also interesting things that help us to explore who our characters are and how they relate to each other and what they say to each other and all of those sorts of things, those role play type elements, okay?
Affirmative.
So yeah, feel free to have a look at your characters. Feel free to roll checks if you want to be part of the research. If you don't and you want to continue to just earn income or whatever, I'm happy for you to roll those as well and tell you what you
I
get.
want to spend my second day helping poor and maybe people who work for food, just helping them and making sure they get fed. I've got that 3 gold that I can put towards it, and that should go a long way for feeding a lot of people.
Okay.
I also now am a champion of Torag, so anybody in my aura that's 15 feet away that is also a worshiper of Torag will know that.
Okay. In that case, a number of dwarves that you pass by during your day will recognize that. And they will, each one of them will mention the same thing. There is a gathering around a shrine tonight. They have to take turns with that, depending on which day it is. Today is Torag's day, and there's a gathering for the people that revere and honor Torag tonight. If you want to come and partake in that gathering. So 4 or 5 different dwarves over the course of your day mentioned that, in case you are interested.
I will be sure to attend.
Okay. What I'll do in relation to that, and what I'll put in Discord. I'm gonna have a look during the week for tidbits about Torag, worshippers of Torag that I can find, and if there is, I think there is. If there is, I can give you a thread to that next week as part of connecting in with them, and if not, I'll give you a little bonus or something as part of doing that. Maybe yeah, I'll think about something that honors your RP around that. Thank you. Yeah. So Thecard has found the sleepwalkers. It doesn't take very long in your day. In fact, you still have most of your day to do additional research, either with them about whatever you want to do there, or still about the cult if you want. It's up to you how you want to.
Yeah, no, if I had time after finding them, I'd kind of dialogue with them about the stuff and then go back to researching.
Yeah, so they will
Possibly
offer
using
you
that,
their services. They will be paid services to walk in
Okay.
people's dreams, but they're happy to facilitate that. There's a safe place that they tell you about that they can do that, but it's by booking only and pay in advance for sort of service.
Then I will plan to get that done. I will tell the other 3, and we'll make sure that Lucas shows up.
Cool. Yep. So that is facilitated. The Lawmaster check doesn't give you anything.
I'm going to use one of the hero points on that.
Sure.
Because he gave me one.
Yeah.
Because we need progress.
Sure, there's progress.
Another
Can I
one?
use another hero point?
I have another one.
Yeah, I don't mind. Normally, I would say no. You know what? I'm okay.
A 2
with it.
and then a 1. It's like, seriously.
I'm okay with it.
There you go.
Watch the next one be a 3.
Oh, there you go.
11. Oh, 1
That's
above
nice.
10. 1 above 10.
So normally I
enough
won't
time.
do this, but it's for the thing that we need to progress the story.
That's the only reason I'm doing it. I'm trying to push the story on, and I know this is the story, and I'm trying to help us get there.
All right, which means that we're up to the next threshold, guys. There are
Just
still
want us
points
to be able to get there.
to be gotten at library, but this takes us above the threshold. So let me go over what we've already discovered, and then I'll tell us the new information. Are we ready?
Yep.
So what we already know is individuals have been bursting into masses of colourful, strange vegetation. They unleash single, ill-tempered, and powerful monsters. The monsters don't seem to be driven to violence out of their need to eat or survival, but instead from a deeper, sinister urge to cause pain. In addition, the source of the affliction seems to be a sinister curse associated with conjuration magic. The victims do not transform into monsters. It's more like their bodies are transformed into some sort of strange portal through which the creature is created. Any living creature may be subject to the curse, but the method is unknown. Rumors about a cult being responsible are widespread. Now we have new information. The following is new information. Those who suffer the curse show no symptoms until near the end, right about when they're ready to burst. Near the end, crippling pain ripples through their entire body. And you've seen that and experienced people having that. The type of creature that emerges from the body is unpredictable. It may be possible to save someone from the curse if the affliction can be detected before it runs its course, but doing so is difficult given the widespread nature of the curse. While a wide range of people are supposedly joining the cult, most of the rumors suggest the original cultists were goblins.
Lovely.
Okay? So that is all of the information that you have in relation to this. The cult is said to be in the wilderness, trying to return the stolen lands to the rule of monsters, just as a reminder of that. But yeah, they're all of the pieces of information that we've put together. Okay? So we're 15 points out of 50 points. There are 50 points to get. We are 15 points in. Do we have to get it all? No. Is part of the story getting most of it? Yes. You can decide to finish it early, but just so you know,
2027.
Is that why I'm pushing for it so hard?
well, I said when we started this was going to take a lot of time. Okay.
Yes, you did.
And we
Well, that's part of
emphasize
why
this.
I'm trying to push it. So instead of taking even longer, it takes a little less.
All right. In addition, I know that some of you have to go soon, but I just rolled a success on my event generation for this day. Okay? So I'll quickly resolve that, and then you can go. But I want to resolve that, please.
Sure.
I am done with my level.
For success 2. All right. And then we are doing a cult event now. 5, 5, 6. So remember when we spoke about this, I said that there are both like random encounters that can happen, and there is other things that can happen as well.
Interesting.
Okay, so cult events. We're going to roll a d10, please. Anyone can do that, just whoever rolls first.
Maybe you don't want to answer, but is there any possibility of any of these things happening that are good for us?
That are good?
Yeah.
I don't.
Just curious.
I don't think so.
Okay. I don't think so either.
Yeah, there could be. I haven't. It depends on kind of like some of the events have a bad like thing, but you can have a good result out of them. That makes sense. Like
Yeah. But none of them are happy and fun.
No.
Okay.
So this is a public outburst event. So what it says is the citizens of the kingdom grow particularly nervous and fearful about the spread of monster attacks, with more reports of monsters bursting out of random victims. Each time the event occurs, increase the event's level modifier by 1, at which point the curse to a maximum of +2, at which point the curse has become the populace's greatest fear. So that hasn't happened yet, so we're still increasing it. The PCs must work to calm the nation and convince the people that they are doing everything they can to stop this supernatural affliction. What I'm going to do in relation to that is overnight in several places in the city, in Restov, people are going to burst out with monsters.
Yeah, they're going to be talking about
They're going to be dealt with immediately by sword lords, extremely skilled, like militia. We're talking about pretty high level BS that is here. They don't get very far, but the public outburst is just people getting scared because it's happening inside the city walls. Okay? And so Restov is going to make a politics roll. I'll have to determine a modifier for this in a bit, but I want to see the dice. This will be a just bare success, and only just. You feel unrest about to rise, like you feel it rising, but the political leaders of Restov will have meetings, will come through the town and send magisters out to meet with people, things like this, and will prevent it and calm it down so that it doesn't permanently rise. But you feel it happening. You see it happening. And you have a feeling that this could have happened in other places in the kingdom in addition to here. But for the moment, you're not there. This is the night that it happens, and that will be the end of the session. You can participate in defending the people. They don't need it because the people here are are incredible.
Oh, I of course will. Absolutely will.
But yeah, you can absolutely narrate that you assist. And when we return next week, it is going to be dawn on the 23rd of this last month of summer. It will be a Tuesday. It's coming up to a full moon, if that's important or significant. And we will leave it off here for the night. If anyone has any questions, we'll stop the stream, but I will stick around if you have character questions. Thank you all for being here, for participating, for being awesome, taking time apart. Thank you for anyone that's been watching. We appreciate everyone being here. It's been fun. We will be back with more in the coming weeks. So if you're enjoying it, come back. Have a look at DMNix's streams during the week. He's doing some awesome games. And yeah, we've also got Cyberpunk on Saturday night coming up. All these sorts of things. So stay tuned to him and to me. And hopefully we'll have a good time. Let's go to a raid situation where we're going to be raiding out to somebody who is out and about that we can raid to. The lollygaggers are about, so let's just do that. Raid the lollygaggers. Boom. All right, I'm gonna jump to our ending screen, and thank you all again. My name's been Matt in a Hat. Please look after yourselves, be kind to each other, and from me and all of us here, we'll catch you on the flip side. Bye for now.